There is so many moving parts right now in the Big Ten drama. Everything that has begun, kind of to put in context everything that I am hearing, and by the way, who knows what Dan Patrick's going to be hearing in the next show. I mean, he's been really well informed on what's going on in the Big Ten in general. But here is what I was told, and I wrote about this at Outkick. The president reached out to the Big Ten on Monday. He let him know, hey, we're going to call on Tuesday. They then had a 15 or 20-minute phone conversation on Tuesday morning. And then from there, they have continued to hopefully try and get Big Ten football back. Now, a lot of people out there are asking the question that Joel and I just discussed. Why is so much of the focus on the Big Ten? And the answer is, I tweeted this yesterday, I think you have to give a lot of credit to Big Ten fans, to Big Ten players, to Big Ten coaches, and to Big Ten parents. Because the Pac-12 shut down and nobody said anything. The Mountain West shut down and nobody said anything. The MAC shut down and nobody said anything. The Big Ten is the only conference that shut down, and all of its fan base, whether it's players, whether it's coaches, whether it's parents, whether it's regular fans, everybody out there, they were the only group that has continued to battle, continued to fight, and said, hey, we want to play. And ultimately, what now has to happen is you have to flip a lot of people who voted in favor of canceling the season. In fact, right now, we know the Big Ten voted 11-3 to cancel the college football season. And the only three schools that voted not to cancel are Ohio State, Iowa, and Nebraska. Okay? So, in order to get the season back, you need to get 60% of people voting in favor of that happening. 11-3 in favor of shutting down. That means you would need to get to 9-5 in favor of playing Big Ten football in order to make it happen. All right? So 11-3 against, you have to go to 9-5 in favor. What does that mean? You have to flip 6 votes. All right? 6 presidents or chancellors with their feet held to the fire have to be convinced that now, with the president's help, with the federal government's help, with the continued moving in a positive direction of the coronavirus in general, that they are going to be able to actually get this thing back to moving in a positive direction. And so, if you work through this from 11-3 against to 9-5 in favor, how do you make that shift happen? Politically, it's a political decision now. Politically, it has to come from pressure. So some people out there are saying, well, why did the president reach out to the Big Ten? He didn't reach out to the Pac-12. He didn't reach out to the MAC. He didn't reach out to the Mountain West. It's because none of those conferences have given him any indication at all that they feel like the wrong decision was made in not playing. And so the Big Ten, to their credit, has. The 8 Nebraska player lawsuit matters because it sends the message that, hey, oh, by the way, we still care here and believe we should be playing college football. And if you don't fight, then no one else usually will fight for you as well. It's one of the great lessons that I always get. People say, oh, are you going to apologize for X or Y or Z? And I always say, no, I'm not going to apologize. Maybe at some point in time, I will apologize for an opinion I've had if I misstate it or I say it poorly. But by and large, I don't think people should apologize for their opinions. I apologize if I get a fact wrong. You've heard me on this show. I'll come on and I say, hey, I want to apologize to you guys. I believed that facts suggested X, and the facts actually said Y. And people say, well, why do you care about apologizing for facts? Well, you know whether a fact is right or wrong. If I come on with you and I say, hey, ice freezes water freezes at 35 degrees Fahrenheit, that's irrefutably wrong. If I tell you, hey, I think it's going to be 28 degrees tonight, and it ends up being 33 degrees, well, my opinion was wrong. It's okay to have opinions that might not ending up being correct, right? If you listen to this show, you know a lot of times I'll tell you, hey, I think this team's going to win, the other team wins. That's an opinion. If I say something that is factually incorrect, I go out and I fix it. Well, so far, I think I've gotten everything about the Big Ten right so far, and I'm not going to apologize for my opinion that they should be playing. And I'm also not going to apologize for working hard to try to make college football happen. Look, I'm not hiding the fact that I'm trying to make college football happen. You guys who listen to this show know that. I got the governor of Florida on to say that he wants ACC and SEC football to happen. I got the governor of Texas on to say that he wants Big 12 and SEC football to happen. I got the governor of Texas on to say he wants SEC football to happen. I got Donald Trump on to say that he wants for college football to happen and that he thinks it would be a tragic mistake if they canceled college football. That was before they canceled the Pac-12 and the Big Ten. So I think the president, I can't speak for him. Only time I've ever talked to him in my life was live on this radio program. I can't speak exactly for what he's thinking, but I think in the grand scheme of things, what is actually going on here is pretty straightforward. What is going on here is the Big Ten fans, players, parents, the coaches, the athletic directors, they have been fighting for nearly a month now without a lot of support. And the president looks at this now and he says, wait a minute, why can't they play? I'm willing to put my power behind the idea that they should be playing college football. And I'm sure if there had been an organized opposition in the Pac-12 or in the MAC or in the Mountain West, that he would have fought to try to get them back as well. What I wonder is, if the Big Ten decides to play, what in the world's the Pac-12 going to think? Is there then going to be an organized opposition in the Pac-12? And are they going to say, why did we ever allow this to happen? Why did we make a decision so early in the process? That's what I've heard from so many people that I talk to behind the scenes. The number one question that everybody has about this Big Ten situation that we're in right now is, why did the Big Ten decide in early August that they had to make a call right then and there? If they had waited till late August, I don't think they would have made the decision to cancel college football, because I think the data has continued to move in such a way that playing college football is more likely than not. And certainly with every game that gets played, it becomes more likely. And by the way, the Big Ten looks more ridiculous for not playing. We got games going on Thursday night. We got games in college football going on Saturday. We got games going on Monday. And then the ACC and the Big 12 are going to play on the week of the 12th. And so if you start to look out on the horizon, the decision that the Big Ten made is not looking supported by the overall data. Not to mention that coronavirus cases are plummeting, that the overall infection rate in the country is coming down rapidly. All of those things militate in favor of being able to play a season. And so the data, and I mean this straightforward, no complicating factors, no trying to hide the ball here, the data supports the Big Ten playing. And so the president is making that decision. Now, it's also political. And unfortunately, I've had to talk about this for a long time on the show. If you got kids and they are in high school, if you have a Republican governor, you are probably playing high school football this fall. If you have a Democratic governor, you are probably not playing high school football this fall. It shouldn't be a function that whether there is a D or an R after your governor's name dictates whether or not you're going to be playing football, but unfortunately it does. And so Joe Biden on Friday started running television advertisements in Michigan, in Pennsylvania, and in Wisconsin, and all over the nation saying the reason the Big Ten's not playing this fall is because Donald Trump is president and he screwed up. Well, if I'm the president and I hear that, first of all, it's not true, because you can point to him coming on my radio show and saying not playing would be a tragic mistake. But those states are all battlegrounds. That's why Joe Biden is trying to turn whether Big Ten football is being played into a political issue. If I'm the president, I'm not going to take that sitting down. I've already established that I want the Big Ten to play, that I want all of college football to play. I'm going to fight back against him. Now, one aspect of this that I don't think I've done a good job of is analyzing the politics of the Big Ten commissioner, Kevin Warren. When we come back in this next segment, I'm going to tell you what I believe the Big Ten commissioner is thinking and trying to do. That will be the discussion for the next segment. I appreciate all of you.